Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Awaken to Your Soul Path. I am your host, Barbara, and today I am joined by the fabulous Amanda Slade, and we are going to be talking about co-creating your success by connecting to your soul's purpose. And this is a very hot topic because a lot of people want to be successful, especially when you're more energy sensitive or empathic. You feel you have a calling, you are here to do something, but a lot of us are not sure what that something is, let alone how to tap into it in order to be successful. So I've been looking forward to this topic, and I'm very happy, Amanda, that you're here today to talk to me about it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I know when we connected, there was this soul synergy that occurred, and it's like, okay, yes, let's go play together. Let's co-create success.
Right? Yes, I love it. So
Yeah,
maybe the first step is to talk a little bit about soul and about purpose.
yeah, good. So yeah, that is a big topic, right?
Yes.
And I can tell you, I came from over 20 years of corporate, and I was a VP of sales and marketing for a New York publishing firm. And 1997, actually January 2nd, 1997, my soul got me fired. And what happened was it was really about my soul's energy taking over and saying, you are complete, you are done with this. So soul is really our energy, the pristine divine love energy of who we are. And it holds all experiences that we've ever had, this lifetime and other lifetimes. It holds the gifts, the talents, all of what we came here to express. And we typically forget that, and we forget that we are here for a purpose, that we did come here for a reason. And what happens is, as we awaken and awaken to who we truly are versus all the shoulds, the have tos, the codependency, the 3D personality egoic self, as we awaken that, then we can move into what is it that my soul really wants for me? Because I did come here for a reason.
Yes, I love that explanation and it's spot on. So, most of us, we think we are a human having a human experience. And it's very logical because we are human. And when we don't know any better, we think, well, this is my life, this is my purpose. So,
Right.
we do what society expects of us, right? We get a good education, we get a good job, then we find someone to marry, maybe have children, maybe not, and then work for that company for a long time, retire, and that's usually life, right? What's in general seen as life. But your soul is more like that higher level overview of not only this life, but all your previous lives. And I know for some this might be out there. Not everybody believes in past lives. So if that is you, then I would love it if you could share what your thoughts are around this topic, because I always love to hear it. But what I've learned, what you've learned, Amanda, is that we did have past lives, and as a soul having a human experience, because that is what we actually are. On the one hand, that means we are connected to source and
Yep.
the universe, God, the creating energy. There are a lot of words for it.
Right.
Um, and we are here to learn, we are here to grow, we have a certain path, and usually the things that we need to learn and the path we need to walk is longer than just one human lifetime. And that explains the past lives that we are having. We are learning certain things to up level ourselves, and then we choose a different human experience to learn some new lessons, and until we have learned enough to be able to fully step into our purpose and do the thing that our soul came here to do. Am I
Yep.
explaining that correctly?
Absolutely. And there's a couple things that I want to put in there. So if you don't really know that, if you believe in past lives, here's an example that I would share with you. Let's say you've been trying to change something in your life. Maybe you have the same relationship, and we're going to talk like a same kind of beloved relationship, and you date, or you get into relationships that feel like they're always the same, and then the same problem always occurs, and eventually it doesn't work out. And you say to yourself, okay, I'm never going to do that again. And I'm like, I'm going to choose a different partner. I'm going to choose a different type of relationship. And what happens is you actually end up attracting the same partnership. And you keep on attracting the same person or type of person. And the reason being is because you have something unresolved from another lifetime. And it can also be this lifetime. Like, I had huge abandonment issues, right? But those abandonment issues were due to, yes, what happened in childhood. Yes, my dad left us when we were 16. We had a white picket fence kind of family. But it also happened in other lifetimes. So when I went to change things and went to heal that abandonment, yes, I healed it, to a certain point, but then I just couldn't get past certain points. And what I always say to people, if something's happening for you at a visceral level, like, that something is um like, you can't resolve it, that visceral level is that past life bleed through, because it's held in your cellular memory.
Mhm.
And when it's held in your cellular memory, you have to go in and heal it energetically and complete it energetically for the transformation to occur. And then the second piece that you had talked about is, every lifetime we're learning, we're growing, we're expanding. What people don't realize is we actually have certain soul ages. There is the baby, the soul, there's the infant soul, there's the mature soul, there's one in between. The young soul, there's the mature soul, and there's the old soul. And there's 7 levels within each of those. Now, it doesn't mean that you go through each level or through one level each lifetime. No, you could stay in one level for many lifetimes. And especially when you get into the young and mature soul. So the infant soul is the one that's just trying to survive. Or the baby soul is just, it's the first time on the planet kind of thing. And the infant soul is realizing, oh, I got to survive, where the young soul has figured that out to a point, but they do it more from a egoic standpoint. The mature soul is realizing, oh, there's more to things, and I'm also realizing I have an emotional body. I got to deal with my emotions. And then the old soul is really the one that truly loves themselves, learns how to love themselves, and then become of more service. So, that whole thing where you got to sacrifice yourself to be your purpose, to do the things that you're here to do, is not true. And in the old soul really learns that, and the old soul knows that I have to take care of myself first, and then be of service from there, be of service from my well. So I really always invite people to, um, when something's going on and you just can't get through it, you have to look at the possibility of those past lives, because that's what keeps you from moving forward.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And I've experienced that firsthand myself. I kept running into the same types of blocks, and you name it, I tried it. I did lot of healing. I also did Akashic Soul Records, for instance. I did Theta healing,
Yep.
family constellations, cleaning up the mother line, the father line, going back. And even then, I kept running into the same type of block. So when you are experiencing something like that, when you are doing a lot of healing, when you are doing a lot of work on yourself, and you keep running into a specific block, then another marketing course is not going to help your business.
No.
Business coach is not going to help you get more clients. And then you need to take different steps. You need to look at it at a different level. And this is also, I think, where epigenetics comes in. There, Bruce Lipton is one of the people that has done a lot of research in it. Greg Braden, also Dr. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this. This is the science where they've proven that what we think and what we have experienced and what we are experiencing, all of these things affect and change us on a cellular level.
Yeah.
So that,
And they change us on the cellular level, and we have to change it on that cellular level. And then we also have to change what the habitual thinking and feelings are, because that is changing the neural pathways.
yes.
And this is why, so back in 1997, my soul got me fired. I had no plan B. I was like, what the heck am I supposed to do next? And I was so exhausted, so depleted, because I did all those shoulds and have tos, and climbing up that corporate ladder, right? And but what happened was the Diamond Co-Creative System actually downloaded in 2001, because I kept on asking, what am I here to do? What's my soul's purpose? What's the passion that I have, and so on. So when the Diamond Co-Creative System downloaded, and what I mean by that channeled in, I all of a sudden here was who I am, because I actually had it in another lifetime as well. But it's like, whoa, what is this? And what I love about the Diamond Co-Creative System, it's all based on sacred geometry. So it brings the science piece in,
Mhm.
because we do have to deal with energy and healing at a science level as well as a spiritual level. Because
Yes.
it just can't be woo out there. Because if it's just woo out there, you're not going to get practical results and feel grounded in the new. So what is interesting with using the Diamond Co-Creative System, it will go to core origination points, and that's key. Not to, okay, this happened in my childhood, or this happened last week. It goes to, where was the problem? Where is the issue? Where's the energetic out of alignment? Because it's out of alignment within you, and it's out of alignment to your soul's essence, which is love.
Mhm.
And where did this originate from? And so then it's important to follow that and see, okay, it originated in this past life. I've even taken people on journeys where it originates from the out breath of God when they first became a soul. And when they first were that out breath, their separation and abandonment occurred back then. I mean,
Mhm.
that's huge. That's eons and eons ago. And from that level, what was held in the Akashic records was this abandonment, feeling like you were separated from God. And then it got reinforced by religion, right? And reinforced by society and cultures, and that God or the divine is outside of you. Then that is a continuous adding on, piling on, so to speak, to you not being able to access who you truly are, that soul's essence, because of all these layers of old energetics. And it can be lineage encoding, it can be genetics, there are so many different ways to look at it, and when you start unraveling, especially a major piece for yourself, so many people have abandonment, so many people have issues with love, so many people have issues with prosperity, being able to receive, or they have issues with being out there, being visible. They fear that, and I have a lot of clients that I work with that, some of their issues of not good enough, not enough, I didn't do enough, I have to prove who I am, which also gets reinforced by conditioning and programming from society and from our families. But a lot of it originated back in Atlantis because they feel like they failed. They feel like they didn't do what they were to do, or why didn't I see what was coming down the pike, with the fall of Atlantis. So there's so many ways that you can look at it that gets in the way to us tapping into our soul's energy and tapping into our purpose, because we're trying to unravel all of this.
Mhm.
And I can tell you, even when the system came in, I'm so surprised it got through, because at that point I didn't feel connected to universal source energy. I didn't feel connected to the guides. I didn't feel connected to myself, to my soul. And but as I worked with the system, it helped really awaken and create awareness and help me with the healing and transformation and get through the layers that were there, so
Mhm.
that and as that did, as it unfolded, more my purpose came forward. And I think one of the things people get caught up with is, I got to know my soul's purpose. And but when you get into that kind of energy, it's like, what's the purpose in this moment, right?
That's what a lot of gurus out there are tapping into, right? They are saying, oh, the law of attraction is the answer, or paradigm work, limiting belief work, mindset work is the answer, or affirmations. You affirmate your life into existence, or another popular one is you need to have goals. So you need to know your soul purpose, because then you know your goal, your purpose, your end destination, and then you can plan it. But none of these things work if you are experiencing things that stem from the Atlantic period, or past lives, or energetic blocks, or cellular pollution. Let's call it pollution. Because
Yeah,
in essence, that's what it is. So everybody out there that has tried things like the law of attraction and it's not working for you, or
right.
you tried working with things like Bob Proctor and doing the paradigms and the mindset shifts and the limiting beliefs things, and it's not working for you, or you've tried journaling and doing affirmations and visualization and meditation and it's not working for you, then there are deeper issues like the ones that Amanda just shared that are at play in your life. I can guarantee you that, because while all of these things are valuable, and of course you need to work on your limiting beliefs, of course you need to work on your mindset, of course you need to tap into your spirituality, of course you need to understand the laws of the universe, not just the law of attraction, but
Yep.
all laws of the universe. And visualizing and meditating and journaling are wonderful tools, but they're not by themselves the solution for you being your awesome self and living your best life.
Yep. Well, what I found personally is, if you're not doing your energetic healing and transformation work, you can do all the affirmations you want, but if you don't, on a core level, on a cellular level, don't feel that you're worthy and deserving of prosperity, or what you want to put out there, or to have the love of your life, or what to have the life that you want, or the business that you want. If you don't feel worthy and deserving of that, and then you feel like you have to keep on proving that you're worthy and deserving,
Mhm.
it's just slowing down the process. You have to go in and heal at that core level, at that cellular level, and what's held in the Akashic records, what is there that gets in the way of you feeling worthy. So if you have it wired up energetically that prosperity equals loss or love equals loss, then you're only going to let yourself go so far. You'll get there maybe 80% of the way. And but then you're gonna do what we, could be self-sabotage, or you attract the people that take you off course, that distract you, or you'll do things that will get in your way of your success. And going back to the piece that you were talking about, it's having that spiritual connection, that soul connection is key. When you have that, and that can show up in different ways for you, but the most important way is part of listening to your intuition,
Mhm.
listening to your body, because listening to your heart, because what your body, your heart, your mind, intuition mind, when they are co-creating together and you're connected at that spiritual level, then you receive so much more than you ever did. We
Mhm.
just did a retreat called Manifest Your All in 2024. It was very much about, great, you could have, like what you were saying, the affirmations, the vision boards, you can have your goals and all of that. But if you're not a vibrational alignment to it and a
Mhm.
vibrational match, it won't happen. So
No.
the work is going inside and doing that energetic healing work. And I can tell you, in the first few years of my healing journey and being back on a spiritual path, I worked with a healer. One year I worked with a healer every single week for 9 months straight. And I went to workshops. I was on a fast track.
Mhm.
And but I was so committed because I didn't want to feel the way I did. This was after my corporate life. And I'm like, uh, I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't even know who I am. I think of myself only as a VP of sales and marketing. Um, I have no clue what's next for me. And
Mhm.
so it took the work. It took going in and doing that inner work, being on that spiritual path, and everyone has a different way that the spiritual path is.
Mhm.
And but creating that spiritual connection with yourself, with your soul, with the divine, with your spirit guides, angels, however you see your etheric team, because we all have etheric teams that we are working with. And they're organizing things if we allow them, if we ask for
If
help.
we allow them, that's a very
Right.
good observation because we tend to block it. And most of the time we do that unconsciously because we don't even know that there is a team. We also don't know that we are a soul having a human experience. Usually we are being taught to be shut off from our intuition. As a child, I believe we are born perfect. We have all of these abilities. We are spiritual. We are tapped in. We are connected to everything. But then around 7 or 8, or it already starts when we're going to school, usually around 4, we are more and more geared towards coming out of the factory, everybody the same, because that's what our society does, right? We take all different types of people, we put them into the factory we call school, and then at the end, everybody comes out more or less the same, gets the same morals and values, the same ideas, the same paradigms. And when you are a very intuitive being like I was, I had the gift of knowing, and it scared the people around me. So they told me, oh, don't do that, or don't be so scary. Or they started avoiding me because I could be spot on with my observations, or I knew exactly what pain or something they were feeling or going through, or where in the body it was. And it scared a lot of people. So
Yep.
was sort of pushed away from my true self because I wanted to fit in into the society. I didn't want to be feeling different. I didn't want to be seen as strange or weird, and so all of these things play a factor into how we sort of disconnect from our intuition, how we move further and further away from ourselves. And then inevitably there comes a moment in our usually young or maybe mid-adult life where we hit a point and where we come to the realization, I cannot go on like this.
Exactly, exactly. And for many, for more of our generation, it usually hit around 40, right? Between 40 and 50, especially for women. And I know, that's when I got fired, was at 40. And but in my late 30s, I was starting to go, this isn't working for me. And I don't know about you, but I was always the quote would be the black sheep or rock the boat, because I thought in totally different ways and I could see things totally different.
Yes.
And having that clear cognitive ability, that clear gift, like I didn't even realize that that's what was going on until I learned about it more when I started learning about energetic healing. But when we have those awarenesses, um, you know, I don't know about you, but I did the same thing. I 4 or 5 started shutting down the gifts, and I really wanted to fit in. I wanted to make sure that I was okay, that my parents loved me, that others liked me, and that was all those codependent patterns that most of us grew up with. And and then now what the guides are saying now, this is happening earlier for those that have been born, after us. This awakening and this recognition is happening earlier. And the good news is too, is that energetically, because of us being in the age of Aquarius now, it's really moving us from that third dimension, which is fear, separation, competition, have to fit in, codependency, all of those type of energies, into the fourth dimension, which is the bridge. And the fourth is when you realize, oh, I've got a spiritual component of me. There's more to this life and body than this. But when you get into the fifth dimension, and this is where we're going, and most of us, that are leading the way are already operating from that or even higher dimensions. But in the fifth dimension, it's a vibration of love and ease and grace and flow, prosperity, passion. It's everything that we're really looking for. But we have to consciously choose to not get all caught up in the drama, into the trauma, into what may be going on in the world. We can, you know, be the observer, and that's fourth dimension. But then, in the fifth dimension, we are conscious creator and generator, and it's fueled by our soul's essence. It's fueled by the soul. And I talk with my clients a lot about when you're moving out of the egoic mind and out of these old paradigms, the most important question that you could ask yourself in a moment of even of chaos or a challenge is, what is my soul line thought about this? What's my soul line feeling about it? What's my soul line belief? You'll get a different answer than from your egoic mind.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. And so basically, all our lives are a learning experience, and sometimes we stay stuck in a specific learning experience of soul a bit longer than other times. Usually, when we are bullheaded, when we refuse to learn the lessons, and when we need to be constantly forced into learning our lesson, which for a lot of people manifests in a dark night of the soul, right?
Well, I call it more the dark night of the ego, because I don't really feel our soul has the dark night. It is our ego, it's our egoic mind
Mhm.
that is having to shift.
Yes.
And And it's, what are we willing to let go of? What are we willing to heal? What are we willing to, are we willing to move into the unknown? Because the soul already has this beautiful plan for us. We come in with a plan. And now remember, we're human beings, spiritual beings in a human body. We have free will. So even though our soul has a plan, the plan that we devised before we even came on the planet, we can choose not to follow the plan.
Yes.
And because we get caught up in, I want to be right, I want to know, I want to be the victim, I'm going to be the martyr. You know, we get caught up in, so our stories of what's happening to us, not for us, but happening to us. And then we're choosing that versus, well, what is this here? What is this showing me? You know, well, okay, I had the whisper, I had the tap of my cheek, a little kiss on my cheek. Then I got this, and then I got hit by a 2x4. And okay, now let's see. Either I lost a relationship or lost my job. Finances are a mess. My health is out of whack. You know, oh, I guess there's something here for me to look at. You know, so so sometimes we can make it so that it's so intensified, and that's when we're really stuck in the 3D. But if we can choose to move in 4th and 5th dimension, doesn't mean in 5th dimension we won't have challenges, that we won't have situations that we have to deal with. We do. But we can operate in a much higher state of consciousness. We can go like to what you're saying is, what is the lesson here? What am I learning here?
Mhm.
What am I healing here? What's the gift that this is showing me? And when we can do it at that level, then we can immediately start shifting the energetics and look at what needs to happen within us to change the vibrational alignment, and for us to tap back in to the divinity of who we are, that soul's essence, tap into the divine matrix, that has all the infinite possibilities that are there,
Yes.
and tap into even the infinite solutions. I always say solutions
That's the name of
versus,
my community. Soul.
yes.
Yeah.
So rather than trying to figure it out in our mind or trying to do it our old way, or I got this, I know how to do this, and I can't tell you how many people, when I watch them dig their heels in and get stubborn, like, just let me do it my way. I'm like, is your way working? Are you happy?
That's perfect bridge to what my question was going to be. Can people do this by themselves, or do they need help?
I would say, especially in the beginning, yeah, have help. Because, and well, not even just in the beginning. Listen, I work with someone every single month, right? Now,
Yes.
I do my own healing work for myself and transformation and clear my energies, and, clearing my chakras and my energy fields all the time. I use the system, but I also have someone that I work with, because when you're in the forest, you cannot see the trees, right?
No, we have a
And
blind spot for ourselves. And also, I think I see us as a sort of onion. We peel off layer after layer, and there will always be another layer, and there will always be another lesson to learn or another thing to be healing.
well, and as you raise in frequency, what was okay in this frequency is not okay here. So
Exactly.
then that's the layer, right? That's the refinement. I call them dust bunnies, because a lot of it, I know you have and I have. We've done the major work, right? We've done major work. We've gotten out of the mud. And but it doesn't mean the dust bunnies don't come up. And again, as you raise your frequency, you raise your awareness, you raise your consciousness. Oh, here, that's not congruent with this consciousness, this energetic. And so that's, yeah. And I would highly, highly recommend people always work with an energetic healer or a coach that understands energy. But you've got to do the work. You've got to do the energetic healing. You can have a coach, and if you're not doing the work, then meaning the energetic healing and realignment and alignment into the higher, if you're trying to up level your business, but like you know you thought X amount of money was a lot of money, and now you're wanting to go here, but if you don't have an alignment to here, then you're going to keep on missing the mark.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, because
exactly.
it's not a vibrational match. So it's always a refinement, because every single day we're always growing, we're always changing.
Mhm.
That's a given, that's a science. Like, we change all the time. We're always evolving.
I always compare it with going to the gym. Everybody
Mhm.
can go to the gym. Everybody can do exercises. So you can read books and you can Google and you can follow a lot of free webinars and free talks and YouTube channels, and you will find a lot of beneficial, helpful information. But are you getting what you actually need? And that's
Right.
when you go to the gym with a personal trainer. The personal
Right.
trainer, it's like the energy healer or the coach or the mentor. They can tell you what you are doing right, what you are doing wrong, but they can also help you identify exercises that will help you reach your goal a lot faster, or can explain to you why certain exercises that you thought were good for you are actually hindering you in
Right.
achieving where you what you want to achieve. So people can do it by themselves, but it's going to be a long route. It's going to be lots of trial, lots of error, lots of pain, lots of disappointment, and lots of moments where you feel like giving up. So
Yeah.
the benefit of doing it with someone who knows their stuff, who's gone through it, who can guide you, is that they can point out the things that you have no knowledge of. They can point out the blind spots that you don't see about yourself. And they can help you heal on levels where you cannot heal yourself.
Well, not only that, but they also, depending on the type of person that you're working with, like in our Evolve Your All Fifth Dimension Mentorship Program, we're teaching new spiritual fifth dimension principles, as well as having codes to the elevation codes from the Diamond Code Creative System. We just in this retreat we had, um we were sharing about Evolve Your All, and there were several people that have taken it, and they all said the same thing. It catapulted them, it moved them, it accelerated them. Who they were last year at this time and who they are today is totally different. So you're working with someone, whatever you feel an affinity to, whatever you are attracted and resonate with. When you're doing that, investing in yourself is so key, because it's also letting the universe, the guides, the divine know, as well as you know, hey, I'm worth investing in myself, and I'm also worth taking care of myself in this way.
Yes.
And that's so key for people to um, acknowledge for themselves, that this has to be absolutely one of your number one priorities, is taking care of you energetically and spiritually.
And it goes
Because
spiritually and physically. I think you need to
yeah,
take care of yourself on all levels, on all three the planes.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But the piece that I was saying with that is, you do it energetically on all those levels, right? Because when you're doing it energetically and when you're connected at a spiritual level, then it's quicker and easier. And like someone was sharing at the retreat, how they forget to ask for help. Well, we were taught not to ask for help, right? I mean, most of us were taught to, pull a pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, just keep on going, school of hard knocks. We were not taught to, we weren't taught to ask for help from people around us, let alone from our spirit guides or the divine. Yes, many of us were taught to pray, but we were taught to pray to something outside of us instead of the divinity in the soul's essence is within us. And this goes back to, co-creating success with your soul and your soul's purpose. Because when you do that, when you're co-creating within yourself, with your soul, with the divine, and then with others out in the world, this is what fuels what you're here to do. And it actually brings more awareness. Like, I know my core soul purpose, right? But it also shifts and changes, it expands, right? Because as you accomplish certain things, now here's the next piece, and here's the next piece. But that's part of the evolution. It's the evolution of ourselves personally, but also, it's what the soul wants to experience and evolve with too. Because remember, your soul is carrying all the wisdom that you learn, that, take that knowledge into wisdom, and also the divine wisdom that it holds. And with that, then there's even more that can be shared out in the world.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I love what you've been sharing. And for you out there, listeners, viewers, I would love it if you could let us know in the comments what is your biggest insight or your biggest takeaway of the talk that Amanda and I had here today. We would love it if you would share it with us. And if you're at it, it would also be amazing if you could subscribe to this channel, maybe like this video, and even share it with your tribe, because if this was valuable to you, chances are it's going to be very valuable to at least some people that you know in your tribe. So by sharing it, you will be doing them a really great service. I can also imagine that you think, I want to know more about Amanda. I want to know where I can find her. I want to know about this diamond co-creation thing that she keeps talking about. So how can people reach you? Where can people find you, Amanda?
So on the website is Co-Create Your Success. Again, co-createyoursuccess.com. And what I invite you to do is check that out. But also we have a free gift there, and it's called Manifest Your All. And it is a tool, it's a manifestation template tool that is from the Diamond Co-Creative System. And we give that away for free. And the reason why do we do that? People are like, wow, this is super valuable. Why are you doing that? Is because we're really committed to people being who they are, being who they truly are, and finding out what their purpose, what their plan is, and manifesting the life, the dreams, the businesses, the contribution that they're here to make. And so with that tool, what you receive with it is the tool itself, but ways to use it, how to use it, and so on. And then we also have our Diamond Code Club, Evolve Your All. We have signature programs that help you learn about it even more. And it's an amazing tool. Like what I said earlier, Diamond Code Creative System bridges the science and the spirituality together that creates the results that you really want. And I was looking at, I asked my clients recently, what are the results that you get? And the majority of them said, and probably the number one answer was that I have confidence in who I am. I'm stronger. I'm more connected. I know what to do. And I have the tools that are necessary for me to really create the life and business I want.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That must mean a lot to you to get that feedback from your
Oh yeah,
client.
well, and I've had people that have come to me in dire straits, so unhappy in relationships that aren't working, businesses that aren't going anyplace. And quickly that gets turned around because they're committed to doing their work and they do that inner healing work and they get connected at that soul level, that spiritual level. And they really start shifting the way that they're being and doing life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So don't worry if this went too fast. I will make sure that the links and everything that Amanda was talking about will be included in the show notes. So just find the show notes somewhere around this video and you will find all the links. For right now, I want to thank you, Amanda, for being here, for having this incredible talk with me today. And I want to thank you, viewer, listener out there, for showing your love, for showing your support, for watching this video and sharing in this topic. And well, thank you, Amanda, and see you again next week, viewer and listener out there.
All right. Thank you.